the Human First Gala for another year and to support the work of the Center on Halsted. I had the good fortune of seeing the center when it was a dilapidated building and turned into an absolute home run, and it will continue to be so.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our fellow co-chairs as well. Sydney and Sandra Berman Epstein, Phil Palmer and Mike Noonan, and Rick Waddell. Thank you all. Events like this one and organizations like the Center on Halsted are only made possible through the support of individuals, many of whom are in this room this evening.
I would like to first take a moment to thank the City of Chicago for Center on Halsted serves the LGBTQ people of Chicagoland first and foremost. Without Chicago, there would be no Center on Halsted. Chicago is proud to have a great ally on our side, and at its helm, Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Mayor Emanuel has not only elevated Chicago as a premier national and global city, but he has also been and continues to be an affirming ally to the LGBTQ community. So please help me in welcoming the mayor of Chicago, and I just want to say my own gratefulness to him for agreeing to be our mayor. It's really a successful voyage so far, and expect it to be even more successful in the future as he does all the good things he's doing. And he is one of tonight's honorary co-chairs, Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
Thank you. I didn't know if Richard was going to start to lead in a prayer. I want to thank you for that. Thank you for the introduction. I want to also recognize it hasn't been done yet. Good Alderman and good friend Alderman Tom Tunney that's here. Alderman? I want to say one quick thing, and that is I remember when Robert Cole came to me as a congressman and said he wanted to talk about getting federal funds for the Halsted Street Center, and this is when obviously George Bush is president. You can imagine the task of getting federal funds at that point. For all those who bemoan earmarks, the Halsted Street Center got $2 million in earmarks from the federal government. This is a momentous occasion. Our governor's here. It's a momentous occasion because a year ago, we were a different state and a different city. And with the stroke of a pen, but years of work, years of persistence, the 33 people who at Millennium Park that he and I oversaw on the civil union no longer are second-class citizens. They are a couple who honor the greatest values and tradition of this state. And we cannot be a forward-looking state if you have backward-looking laws. We can no longer be the people we want to be, where we also hold up. We don't have any more in our city or our state. There is no longer straight marriage and gay marriage. There is marriage in Illinois, and there is no difference. We do not have two sets of books, and we do not have two sets of values. If two people love each other and want to raise a family and children, there is nothing more important to us as a city or a society or a state to hold those two individuals up and give them everything we can to stand shoulder to shoulder with them as they create the bond of love and the friendship and the sense of family. When the governor signed that law, known as marriage equality, we spoke with one voice, with one vision for a future, and a common understanding of what our values were. There are many times we do things on legislation, many fights. They have different ideas. Never has one piece of legislation spoken to the values of who we are and what we want to be. And you can do that if you want. Listen, man, I got 3 teenagers at home. You have no idea. That was like the most complete sentence I've ever had. I may not give up this microphone. I haven't had a complete thought at a dinner table like this in a whole 4 years. But I do want for all of us who understand the struggles and the challenges to reach this point, to remember how in a short period of time, while the struggles were not short, the battles were not easy. Hate crimes legislation, the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, marriage equality in Illinois, and it's going to be the law of the land in the United States. A remarkable period of time in the last 4 years. And so to all of us, I also would like to say, when we look at all the struggles and all the battles, who knew that Boys Town would be rated the #1 best gay community in the city and all of the United States? I always knew when we were doing the Halsted Center I should have gone into real estate, not run for public office. But I wanted to be here also to congratulate everybody and all your families and everybody who's been part of the efforts to remind us that when the arc of history is long, it always bends towards justice. This has been a momentous year. Let us refurbish, let us gain our strength for the battles ahead to bring justice through all. Thank you.